You picked a bad time to get lost, friend. Go ahead, try and fight back.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend?
Staying safe, I hope?
My job is to serve... Me? Nothing. And I hope to keep it that way. The Jarl is convinced I have some connection with the college, so he goes easy on me. Maybe you'd like to help me keep up appearances. Old Nellikar has a mage's staff in his room in the frozen hearth. It'd be good to have that staff, in case the Jarl starts wondering if I actually have a real connection to the college. Thanks. I'll be waiting for it. Until next time.
What's your business here in Winterhold? Should have known. Not that it matters anymore. No one bothers coming to Winterhold for any other reason. Winterhold has lost much of its history, and with that much of its power. I aim to change that. I've heard rumors of the resting place of the Helm of Winterhold. The very same helm that Jarl Hansa wore in the First Era. Hansa was in line to be High King of Skyrim, you know. Having that might get the ear of the other holds, and give me some authority. Good. I'll have a sum of gold waiting for your return. I do. And if you count yourself among their numbers, then you've blood on your hands as well. There's nothing left of Winterhold. Nothing. Everyone knows it's the college's fault that the sea swallowed our city. Still, they deny it. What? We all know the truth. What's there to tell? It's mostly gone now, thanks to those damned mages in the college. Someday there'll be proof they caused the Great Collapse. Most of a city just dropping off into the sea. That doesn't just happen. Come back as soon as you have the helm.
Ours is the only family left that truly cares what happens to Winterhold.
I find your hand in my pocket. I'm going to cut it.
I'm sorry, could you just...
Helgen. Destroyed by a dragon.
The monster was turned inside out
believe,
and then
isn't it?
exploded. What did you do?
It was a minor miscalculation. I've already corrected it for future experiments.
This is why people have a problem with your college, Nellikar. Come on in.
Unless you're bringing...
Warm food,
Got any
warm
ale or
drink,
mead?
Warm beds.
Yeah.
The mages don't let us go.
If there's anything you need,
they said
just let
it's
me
not
know.
safe in there.
I'm afraid there's not much to be said. Winterhold is hardly what it used to be. You can talk to Birna if you need to buy anything. She doesn't have much, but could certainly use the coin. And then there's our little inn. Most of the business we get is from folks here to visit the college, though even that's dried up some. That's right. College of Winterhold, just north of town. Hard to miss. Take a look.
Asser says his pa says the college makes lots of bad things happen. But the mages I've seen look nice.
Just say the word. It's not much, but we get by. Very little money passes through Winterhold anymore. But if there's one thing you can count on, it's folks needing a drink now and then. You mean the inn or Winterhold? Suppose it's the same answer either way. Winterhold's fallen on hard times, to say the least. Most folk packed up and left years ago. A few of us are either too stubborn or too crazy to go, so we do our best to make a living. Until next time.
You lost?
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too
My
long
job.
since we've
This
had a
should
good
come in
bandy raid.
handy. Here, let me show you a few tricks I've learned about buttering up royalty. Huh? Okay, you've talked me into it.
I'll sell just about... You want to give me money? Just like that? Fine, but I intend to earn that investment. I don't need handouts. I'll work hard to justify your faith in me. Wasn't by choice, I can tell you that. Options were in short supply. Branmir and I grew up here, and nearly any money I make, he drinks away. Without the coin to pack up and leave, I decided to take to trading. Very funny. I'm sure you've noticed that Winterhold isn't exactly overflowing with people. So I'll sell whatever I can. If it's worth putting a price on, you can bet I'll do it. I've been burned a few times, made a few bad deals, but mostly I come out on top. Yeah, it was stupid of me. I shouldn't have believed the story and just refused the trade. But I didn't, and now I'm stuck with this worthless junk. Some line about this clothing in Ingol Barrow. He said it was worth more than its weight in gold if I took it back there. Something about placing it back in Ingol's chamber, I don't know. What was I thinking? Even if it were true, I'm not setting foot in some ancient tomb filled with who knows what. I don't even care anymore. You want to check it out? Fine. I'll sell you the thing for 50 gold, and then it's your problem. Fine, here you go. You get killed on account of this thing, it's not my fault. Got it? But I suppose if it does actually turn out to be worth something, let me know, will you? Take a look. Aye.
I made my fortune as a sea captain, but now I'm...
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. You'll want to watch yourself in Riften. A lot of ways to get yourself in trouble in that town.
Too lazy to walk, eh? Well, you found the right place. Got horses that need shoeing, so make it... I'm not afraid of anything out here. Walls are just a weakling's hiding spot. Not me. I'm no weakling. In fact, I bet I got the strongest arms in all of Skyrim. Oh, sounds like I've got a challenger. Tell you what, how about a friendly wager, just between us? I bet you my entire purse of septums I can beat you in a fistfight. You match the bet, and we fight until one of us gives in. Alright, remember, this is a clean fight. No weapons, no tricks. And none of those fancy magic spells either. Here we go. Come on. Let's see what you're made of.
Who taught you to fight? Keep those hands up! Fight! Fight!
You want a real fight, eh?
Hold there. Before I let you into Riften, you need to pay the visitor's tax. For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter? All right, keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you? I'll let you in. Just let me unlock the gate. The gate's unlocked. You can head inside when you're ready.
I had another run-in with... You're a stranger. To call it a guild is ridiculous. How can people who would betray one another over a gold coin be considered part of an association? They're the worst kind. Even the Dark Brotherhood abides by a strict set of rules and tradition. These thieves are just rabble. What do you think? You know, I'm beginning to respect you. Other than Eren, you seem to be the only other person I've met I might be able to trust. Since we share the same opinion of them, let me warn you that they're recruiting others to join their guild, and you should be cautious. Maven Blackbriar, the matriarch of the family, represents everything that's wrong with this city. She's bribed countless officials, has friends back in the Imperial City, and freely associates with the Thieves' Guild. I've tried everything I can to protect Riften's citizens from her family, but to no avail. Well, there is Ingun Blackbriar, Maven's daughter. Strange girl. She likes to spend time down in Elgrim's elixirs working on her alchemy. Then you have Hemming, Maven's son, spoiled brat and heir to her empire. He follows her word like a loyal dog follows its master. And finally, Sibi, the worst of all of them. He's in Riften jail for murder. I've been adventuring across Tamriel since I was a fresh-faced young woman barely able to swing a blade. My travels have taken me from High Rock to Valenwood, Elsewhere to Morrowind, and all points in between. Many years ago, I lost my blade, Grimsever, within a Dwemer ruin. I took it as a sign that I was wasting my days in search of wealth. You and I are alike. We seek challenge and great fortune. But for me, that's where the similarities end. You see, Riften is my great beast to be slain, and my fortune comes from gratitude and trust. It's been difficult. I've taken the burdens of this city's problems upon myself, and I keep running into impossible obstacles. Corruption, lies, and deceit are the order of the day here. If it wasn't for Erin, the young man who saved my life, I think I'd already have given up long ago. It was Erin who found me dying outside of a Dwemer ruin. If he hadn't brought me here and nursed me back to health, I would have died. When my strength returned and he told me about the problems plaguing Riften, I decided fate brought me here for a reason. So I stayed.
Be careful.
Safe travels.
The Thieves Guild has Maven Blackbriar.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard.
One snap
Vampire
of
hunters or
you could
something
end up
in the old
in jail.
fort near Riften.
Or worse.
Might consider joining up
They
myself.
represent the reason I'm here. I can't just ignore them, Erin.
I know. I just don't want you to leave.
I don't know
You're the
you.
only good thing
You and
that's happened to
Riften
the
looking for
city in a
trouble?
long time.
Yeah? Well, I got news for you. There's nothing to see here. Last thing the Blackbriars need is some stranger sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. The Blackbriars have Riften in their pocket, and the Thieves Guild watching their back, so keep your nose out of their business. Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for 'em. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll cost you. Only way you could have found one of those is by stealing it. Guess you'll fit in around here better than I thought. So what do you want to know? Do I look like a merchant to you? You're gonna have to take that up with Vex in the Thieves Guild. Get in good with them and you'll find her. You kidding? My brother Dirge works in their hideout. I used to run with them myself, but took a job with Maven after they started hitting a rough patch. If you want to get in on that action, find Brynjolf in the marketplace. I'm sure he could use someone like you. Well, you got Maven. She pretty much runs the whole operation. She's got friends in high places, if you know what I mean. She's also got ties to the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild, so basically, no one can touch her. Just remember, if she tells you to do something, you damn well better do exactly what she says. Be seeing you around.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual fee.
I know I did. But how was I to know the shipment would get robbed?
Next time, keep your plans quieter, and nothing would have happened to it.
What? Are you telling me you robbed it? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Look, Shadra, last warning. Pay up or else. All I care about is the gold. Everything else is your problem.
Huh? Yes. Hofgrir took me in when I arrived in Riften about a year ago. He's been teaching me everything he knows. Horses are my whole life. Back in Hammerfell, I helped my family raise horses at our farm. I hope to open my own stables one day, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than I expected. I owe a great deal of money to someone, and I think they cheated me. I don't know what to do. I was able to work out a deal with the stables in Whiterun to sell me some of their tack and harnesses. I borrowed some gold from Sapphire to pay for the shipment, but it got robbed before it even arrived. Now Sapphire wants her money back, and if I don't pay her, I think she's going to kill me. You will? Oh, thank you. Be careful with Sapphire. She mixes with all sorts of nasty people.
I'm kind of busy, but if you need any potions or ingredients, let me know. You here for lesson? Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision. Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use. Well, the moisture in the air is better for the ingredients. It isn't every day that you get your hands on fresh Nernroot or painted troll fat. It also makes it easier to gather water when the canal is right out the front door. Besides, I also prefer the quiet. I didn't open this business for browsing. Come in, buy what you need, and get out. Hardly. In fact, I don't know how I get anything done with all the distractions I have to put up with. My wife, Half-York, well, she's a necessary evil, I suppose. Not a lick of talent when it comes to alchemy, but she keeps me fed. Then there's Ingen Blackbriar, bright young thing and a worthy apprentice, when she isn't wasting my rare ingredients. Yes, goodbye.
I swear if I wasn't around, Elgrim would forget to eat his meals. How we make any coin at all is beyond me. In fact, I need to arrange for someone to pick up an ore sample for me in Shore's Stone. Goodness knows Elgrim won't lift a finger to do it. You would? Oh, that would be wonderful. Speak to Filnyar in Shore's Stone. He's got some sort of ore sample he wants us to identify and was willing to pay us well for it. I know how to mix a few basic potions, but I'm nowhere near as skilled as a master alchemist. I've picked up a few tricks by reading the tomes scattered all over the shop, but I don't have the knack to pull off half of the formulas. I wish Elgrim had spent more time tutoring me than that Ingen girl. Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. Elgrim can barely put on his own shoes, let alone have the energy to pursue a young girl. He's been gushing about how talented Ingen is at alchemy. He'd never say it to her face. That's not his way. I just think Elgrim's taken it upon himself to mentor the young thing, so he focuses a lot of attention on her. When Elgrim said we were setting up shop down here, I told him he would catch his death. The dirt, the moisture, it's disgusting. Who wants to spend their life living like a skeever? But that old bellyacre just fed me some nonsense about light ruining his mixtures and being close to the water. Ah! Be careful. The road to Shore's Stone could be dangerous.
You're not as dumb. Oh, so you're an alchemist then? Oh, so you're an alchemist then? Yes, goodbye.
Rare trinkets and the finest oddities
All
in
meats, Garrett. I picked up a trick from a butcher in Elenir, a small town over the border in Hammerfell. He showed me a way to grind up ice wraith teeth and use it as a preservative. Keeps everything cold and fresh, but only for a limited time. I'm always looking to replenish my supply, so if you ever come across 5 of them, I'd be more than happy to take them off your hands. Thanks. I was actually worried I'd run out.
Why take a chance?
Perfect. Just perfect. These should help keep my stock fresh for quite a while. And as promised, here's my trade. Hope you like it. See for yourself.
Never done an honest day's work in your life for all that coin you're carrying, eh, lad? I'm saying you've got the coin, but you didn't earn a septim of it honestly. I can tell. Oh, but that's where you're wrong, lad. Wealth is my business. Maybe you'd like a taste. I've got a bit of an errand to perform, but I need an extra pair of hands. And in my line of work, extra hands are well paid. Simple. I'm going to cause a distraction. You're gonna steal Medesi's silver ring from a strongbox under his stand. Once you have it, I want you to place it in Branche's pocket without him noticing. There's someone that wants to see him put out of business permanently. That's all you need to know. Now, you tell me when you're ready, and we'll get started. I'm ready when you are. Just give the word.
Come to see Balaman perform miracles. Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision. Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use. Smithing's been in my blood for generations. I owe my success to my forefathers and their recipe for flame. The secret is my forge. It consumes fire salts, a strange mineral that burns as hot as red mountain lava. Well, it was. Sadly, this forge is dying, and I've used the last of my fire salts. If I can't feed it soon, it may grow cold. You will? Thank you. 10 pinches of fire salt should give me all I need to bring this forge back to life. People say I'm making gold off of other people's misery, but what else would I do? Smithing is all I know. Next time one of my shields deflects a killing blow, they'll change their tune. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Remember, nothing but genuine fire salts will do. The forge knows the difference.
I've never... The old told me that it isn't this bad everywhere.
Well,
maybe one day I'll venture out and see if
you?
she's right.
Huh?
Watch yourself around here. It isn't safe.
Okay, okay. You've talked me into it.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend? Sorry about work. I suppose you can call it that. I call it slavery. I work my fingers to the bone keeping this disgusting place clean. Ever since my parents died and Helga took me in, it's been a nightmare. How was I to know she was such a wretched woman? So now I'm stuck living here, while those pigs she calls customers grope me and say the most awful things. It's not just the work, it's everything about her. She's disgusting. I think she takes her worship of Dibella a bit too seriously. Do you know she's slept with 3 different men in the last month alone? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Just for once, I'd like to see her squirm, to rub her nose in it. Actually, there is, but I don't think I could get away with doing it. She'd kill me if she found out. You see, I happen to know, after she makes love, she gives her partner a token of her affection, called a Mark of Dibella. If you confront her with 3 of the marks, she'd be so embarrassed. Well, I don't know what she'd do. Oh, this is going to be great! You need to get the marks of Dibella from Boli, Hofgrir, and Indarin. Not sure how you're going to do that, but try your best. Then just confront Helga with them, and the rest works itself out. Try and get those marks without violence, please. I don't want to be responsible for their deaths. Or yours.
Please
Trees.
help me. I'm going to
Beautiful
lose my
here.
job at the Riften.
Reminds me of autumn at home. Mm-hmm.
I really... Oh, my aching head. Why do I do this to myself? Bolli is a good man. He pays us well and watches out for us. I used to work at the Blackbriar Meadery, but Indarin and I never saw eye to eye. That elf has no patience at all. It's probably for the best anyway. I'm far better at fishing than working in a meadery. My job at the Riften fishery is in danger. The owner, Bolli, said that if I show up for work in this condition one more time, then I'm out. I don't mean to do this to myself, but I can't help it. I tried some skooma a year ago, and ever since then, I can't stop. If you could give me a healing potion, I could cleanse this poison from my body and get back to my life. Your kindness will never be forgotten. Here, take this. It's all I can offer you for what you've given me.
Any luck getting the marks from those men?
Can't you bother me at my armor stand in the market? Or are you that desperate for training?
Fall Forest makes me miss my childhood. Playing
Come
among
see
the
me
towering
in the
trees in
I
Valenwood
do.
and living with my
Sadly,
brethren.
I'm one of the few traditional Saxhleel jewelers that remains in Tamriel. It's becoming a lost art. Only trouble is gathering materials has become hazardous. The roads to the mines and to the other cities are thick with bandits, and worse. Would you be interested in gathering some materials for me? I'd certainly be happy to compensate you. Thank you, Landstrider. I'm seeking a small list of items to complete my next creation. 2 flawless sapphires, a mammoth tusk, and a chunk of gold ore. The ivory from this tusk will be perfect for the inlay on my amulets. Not well, I'm afraid. That Brynjolf, he keeps draining the people's pockets with his ridiculous miracle cures. A few months ago, it was Troll Fatsav, and now he's got something new. Not that there's anything that can be done about it. He's in good with the Thieves' Guild. Safe travels, Landstrider.
If you're ever in the market... I may be Dark Elf by birth, but I was raised Argonian. Through reasons I'm still trying to discover, I ended up orphaned and taken in by a kindly Argonian family in Black Marsh. I hope one day to find out what happened to me, how I ended up like that. Just one. I know when I was found by my Argonian father, I was wrapped in a blanket bearing the symbol of House Telvanni. It was one of the great houses in Morrowind long ago. Whether that means I was one of them or not, I'm uncertain. If you come across anything in your travels that might provide me with the answers I'm looking for, I'd be grateful. Thank you. I learned that a matron who had served for House Telvanni had escaped Morrowind during the Accession War. Record showed her buying passage aboard a sailing vessel named the Pride of Telvos, but that's where the trail ran cold. I spent years looking for what became of the ship, but I ended up empty-handed. Anything you can find would be of great help. Good luck.
Working at the Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket. Remain vigilant.
Hey,
and
don't look at me
trust
that
anyone.
way. Who are you to judge me? Safe travels.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
Looking for work?
People
I
of
need
Riften,
someone to deliver a message to
heed my
Sibby Blackbriar.
The return of the dragons is not
Well,
mere coincidence.
I recently approached Sibby Blackbriar about buying Frost, one of the finest breeding horses in Skyrim. He agreed to sell. I paid Sibby half the cost of Frost up front, but before he could deliver, Maven had him locked up. Sibby believes this exempts him from our deal. It does not. I want you to talk to Sibby for me. Then I want you to bring me Frost and the lineage papers that prove the horse's worth.
Enough, Maramal. We've all
Good
heard
man.
of the
You
dragon.
won't regret it. Head to the Riften jail and talk to Sibby. Get him to tell you where Frost and his lineage papers are and bring them to me outside Riften. You'll be well paid for your time.
We're not kicking you out. Just keep this.
I'm not exactly comfortable around guards or jails. Definitely not when associates of mine have been locked up. No, I'll meet you outside of town. No idea, but whatever he did, it must have angered Maven. No guard would lock up a Blackbriar without the old lady's permission. I'll meet you outside of town.
I presume you're... What in the name... Of course. Nothing gets done without my approval in this city. I have the Jarl's ear, and the guards in my pocket. Anyone makes trouble for me, and I pay a visit to the Thieves' Guild. Make me angry, and I contact the Dark Brotherhood. You do well to remember that the next time you make such a stupid observation. I believe we're done.
Fancy yourself the adventuring type, eh? It's just as well. I doubt
don't
your
have time
combat
for idle
prowess would prove
chit-chat. What
valuable
is
in
it?
a real battle anyway. It was my sister, Lilia. She served as a battle maiden with the Stormcloaks. We recently heard she'd been killed. I find it difficult to talk about. Perhaps you'd be better off speaking to my parents about it. Anyway, I'm glad my work at the Blackbriar Meadery keeps me busy. Helps me keep my mind off of things. My father was a Stormcloak soldier in his younger days. Now he just walks the streets spewing his hatred and propaganda. My mother is the priestess of Talos. She tends to the shrine and teaches his ways. I'm just not so sure she's delivering the right message. Don't mistake my political beliefs as a substitute for my family values. They're still my parents, and I love them dearly. I just think they've let my sister's death skew their outlook on Ulfric and what he really brings to the table with this war. I'm not so certain that Ulfric's intentions are as noble as they think. I think Ulfric cares about Ulfric, and the rest is a smokescreen. I'd appreciate if you kept my opinion between us. The last thing I want to do is have my parents lose another child. Yes, actually. I'm partnered with Maven Blackbriar. I put up a chunk of the gold she needed to get the place off the ground. We've been staggeringly successful so far. In fact, I'm almost surprised how quickly she's generated business for us. My name may not be on the label, but some of my blood, sweat, and tears are in every drop. Figuratively, of course. It's been good talking to you.
Vibn, if you're... They mean to take our history and crush it all in the name of some damn treaty. The soil beneath our feet is steeped in the blood of our ancestors. We've fought for this land, and died for it. I lost my own daughter to the Imperial dogs. And by Talos, I'll not lose anyone else. Lelia joined the Stormcloaks many years ago, when the first of the skirmishes broke out across Skyrim. I was so proud of her. She served as a battle maiden, using her healing arts to help those that fell on the battlefield. Never even lifted a blade in her life. It didn't matter. The Imperial soldiers cut her down, killed her like a dog, and left her body to rot in the mud. And that's why I won't rest easy until every single Imperial soldier joins her, and Ulfric sits upon the throne of Skyrim. Imperial bastard.
If you've got the coin, your crime is an all-time high in this city thanks to the Thieves Guild. Don't we have enough problems with the war going on? Mjol the Lioness used to adventure across Skyrim before she settled down in Riften. I hear it all ended when she lost her enchanted blade. The Thieves Guild has been pushing hard to regain a foothold in this city. Rumor has it they're falling apart from the inside. The city guard has been tearing Riften apart, looking for the source of our skooma problem. I'd hate to be in their shoes if they get discovered. Riften's biggest exports used to be fishing and honey until the Blackbriar family moved in. Now the meadery is the biggest game in town. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry. Come back and see us again.
What wasn't I clear about?
Yeah? What's your problem?
Welcome to the I met her when I wandered into Riften a few years ago. Been smitten with her ever since. In fact, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me. In Blackmarsh, tradition dictates we present a potential mate a unique wedding ring to represent our future bond. I already have the gold band, but all I need are 3 flawless amethysts to complete the setting. I was hoping you'd offer. I didn't think it was my place to ask such a favor of you. I thank you. Every Argonian wedding proposal band is supposed to have 3 flawless amethysts as part of their design. 2 of the gems, the ones on the outside, represent the couple to be married. 1 for the husband, 1 for the wife. The amethyst in the center represents the Hist, the entity that all Argonians consider a sacred part of our lives. Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both? Three, in fact. They're my own recipe. Brought them over here from my days as a bartender in Gideon. First is the Velvet Lechance, which is a mixture of blackberry, honey, spiced wine, and a touch of nightshade. Perfectly safe, I assure you. Second, we have the White Gold Tower, which is heavy cream with a layer of blended mead, lavender, and dragon's tongue on top. Last, and only for the bravest of souls, we have the Cliff Racer, which is firebrand wine, Cyrodiilic brandy, Flynn, and Sujamma. They're vermin, garbage. They're exactly what makes this city such a horrible place to live. How appropriate they should live in the Ratway with the rest of the trash. Disgusting. Ruined sewers filled with goodness knows what. There's an entrance down by the canal, but I'd highly advise you to stay out of there. It's the Thieves' Guild's territory. If you'll excuse me, I have other things to attend to.
Yeah? What's your problem?
Take my advice. Don't listen to that talk of the face sculptor down in the Ragged Flagon. Face butcher is more like it from what I've heard.
Lady Mara, we are devoted to the goddess Mara, who gave mortals the gift of love, that they might have a hint of eternity. Her blessings are many. To love is to know the true nature of the gods. Not all can hear the broad echoes of deepest dawn. To receive the touch of Mara, you must first act as her hands in the world. Explore the facets of the infinite jewel. Are you prepared, then, to help bring the light across this land? The dawn surely opens upon you, child. You must bear its light that all may see. Mara has reflected an image to me. At the foot of the throat and the young woman, almost a girl. Her fickle love must resolve itself. The village of Iverstead. The woman, Fastred. This is the prayer heard by the goddess and relayed to her servants. Return when she has seen her path. I will entreat Mara on your behalf. If you're trying to ask if I tend the Hall of the Dead alone, then the answer is yes. You think anyone around here is going to lift a shovel to help me? Guess again. Leave the dirty work to old Alessandra. Look, I didn't ask for this job. I got stuck with it thanks to my father. I'd like to make the journey to the Hall of the Dead in Windhelm and give my ceremonial dagger to Anders, the caretaker. I believe once it's interred with my father's remains, I'll be at peace with his memory. I hadn't asked you because I was afraid you'd say no. I appreciate your help. Here, I'm entrusting you with the dagger. Bring it to Anders and he'll take care of the rest. My father was a priest of Archay. All my life was spent around the dead, being forced to learn the proper burial rituals and prayers. I never had any friends. Who'd want to spend time with the weird little girl who hangs around dead people? So I grew up with a miserable trade. This is all I know how to do. Prepare and inter the deceased. A priest of Archay is entrusted with a ceremonial dagger once they've completed their training. It's usually given by the head priest who sanctified the ritual. In my case, the head priest happened to be my father. The thing is, I never wanted to follow in his footsteps. In some ways, I still don't. I had to, for honor's sake, but I had waited too long. My father died before he could see my training to completion. When I finally became a priest, they gave me the new High Priest's dagger, but I already owned my father's. So you see, I have to return it. It breaks tradition, and I need to tell him that I finally did what he wanted. Be cautious. The pilgrimage to the shrine is not an easy one.
Hey, you're not supposed to be down here. Official business only. What are you doing down here? Oh, my mistake then. Sorry, you can go on ahead.
Have you come to gawk at me, or is this... Ah, and let me guess. He wants his horse. Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. See, I don't really outright own Frost. That is correct. You see, Frost belongs to the Blackbriar estate. Technically, everything in the estate is owned by my mother, Maven. My plan was to take the horse from our lodge and deliver it to Latrush at the stables. Obviously, that didn't exactly work out as I'd planned. Still, I don't want to cross Latrush. Tell you what, steal the horse and deliver it, and you can have the second half of the payment. Then I think we're done talking.
Welcome to Riften, home of the Thieves Guild. What?
Ebony armor by Izmir. It is a wondrous sight.
Have our scouts come up with any information on these reports of dragons?
Yes, my lady. That unpleasantness at Helgen supposedly involved a dragon. It killed several soldiers before it departed.
I want you to speak to the city guard. Make sure there's a contingency plan in effect
I know
in case
you.
Riften falls
Someone
under attack.
actually interested in what I'm doing. Amazing. Well, allow me to explain. My experimentation involves a magical construct and a reagent that will allow the construct to maintain a field of permanent harmonic energy.
You need to leave.
Aha! So, you're a student of theoretical applied harmonics.
Leave now, or suffer
Putting
dire
aside Ralston's constant of universal inversion for a moment, how would you approach the problem? Draw the harmonic energy into the reagent, or allow it to generate its own field?
You need to leave. You need to leave.
Calipers? That's utterly ridiculous.
You need
Maybe
to leave.
long ago you could just find calipers in every household across Tamriel, but not anymore. Hold on. You've given me a brilliant idea. Just as calipers hold materials in place, a soul siphon can hold magic fields in place. Genius! And I'm sure you've completely worked out how to counteract complete dimensional collapse, right? Of course! 9 is the most basic of magical principles. Oh, how stupid of me. That completely takes care of all your basic problems: magicka burn, dimensional collapse, and thermic drift. You've done it! Now, if I can only remember what we were originally talking about. Yes, I could use some help with that. An assistant, perhaps? No. Maybe a familiar. No, too messy. Well, at any rate, organization is not my strong suit. Not at all. I need as much help as I can get. In fact, if you could retrieve a few things for me, I could start on my next set of experiments. As you can imagine, I tend to forget things often. Leave things around. I really must learn to put these things away. What I need is my Dwemer stirring spoon, my orichalcum ingot, and my grand soul gem. In fact, I could use them immediately. Bring those items back to me, and I'll be happy to experiment on you. No, that isn't right. I'd be happy to reward you. Excellent. I can't wait. Well, why are you still standing here? Oh, right. You need to know where they are. That would help. Let's see. Last time I used the Dwemer spoon was at my dear friend Bodhi's house in Iverstead. Fellstar Farm, I believe it's called. The orichalcum ingot should still be at Winterhold at the Frozen Hearth Inn. I don't know why I didn't just take it with me. And last is the soul gem. I left that one in Windhelm at the White Phial Alchemy Shop. It was a good trade, too. Oh, well. Okay. Now, where did I put those spiders?
Let me guess. Someone stole your...
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat. If you've got... Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Yeah? What's your problem?
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Yeah? What's your problem?
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
Greeting. Just what you see here. Safe travels, Landstrider.
Beautiful baubles and
You gonna
gleaming
buy something?
gemstones
Or just...
over here.
Look, I've moved all over Skyrim selling these bits of junk, and I'm barely scraping by. I'm not out to win friends, and I could care less if you're happy about your purchase or not. I just need the coin. The sooner I get out of Skyrim, the better. Are you serious? The war is tearing the land apart. The dragons have returned seeking who knows what. Skyrim is going nowhere, fast. If I were you, I'd pack up and get out of here before you end up in one of those burial cairns. They'd stop at nothing to take your last bit of food if that's all you had. The Ratway's too good a place for that scum. There are ruined sewer tunnels beneath the city. The only way I know how to get in there is through a door off of the canal. If I were you, I'd keep my feet dry and stay up here. Come back when you're ready to spend more gold. You're gonna just what you see here. Come back when you're ready to spend more gold. Goodness knows I could use it.
Can I interest you in some fine goods from Morrowind?
He spends too much
Take a
time
look.
worrying about Riften and not enough about himself.
Anything you can find would be of great help. Good luck.
I've never seen Miol this upset about anything. The city really gets to her.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
Please. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
Only a mere 20 gold coins, and all this could be yours.
Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here.
Helgen, destroyed by a dragon. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Welcome to Rift. While I feel Ulfric's cause is just, my concern is for the people of the Rift. How can they continue to lead their already meager lives with dark clouds looming overhead? My heart goes out to them. If only our coffers were deeper, I could protect them as they were my own family. With the Stormcloaks at his back, Ulfric's poised to rid Skyrim of the Empire's forces and invalidate our involvement with the White Gold Concordat. Many have died taking up arms for this cause. I fear that the land will be stained with blood for years to come. Surely you're aware of the Great War between the Imperials and the Elves who called themselves the Aldmeri Dominion? When the smoke cleared, the White Gold Concordat was signed. It was supposedly a treaty aimed at establishing peace within the Empire. One of the terms of the treaty was the outlawing of worship to Talos. To the Stormcloaks, this was viewed as the moment when the Empire became unworthy of the allegiance of any true Nord. We're all eager to see them brought to justice. Maven Blackbriar has assured me that they're being dealt with appropriately. As one of our city's most influential citizens, she's taken it upon herself to oversee their incarceration. Sadly, they're proving elusive, but I have confidence that Maven won't give up until this city has been rid of them all. Good journey to you.
Welcomed. As Riften's steward, I serve as an intermediary between the Jarl and her subjects. I also handle the less important and day-to-day policies that affect daily life in Riften. Lately, I've had my hands full suppressing these ridiculous accusations of corruption in the keep. There are those that believe the Jarl does nothing for this city, that it's corrupt and run by the Blackbriar family. I can assure you that this is entirely false. We are fully in control of everything. Maven Blackbriar is the owner of the largest and most profitable business in all Skyrim, the Blackbriar Meadery. We're pleased to have her in Riften. She brings stability, opportunities for employment, and strategic value to our city. I'd hardly call them a guild, more like unorganized rabble. In fact, I wouldn't say they were a threat at all. No, our resources should be spent on preparations for invasion. You're welcome in Riften, as long as you continue to obey our laws.
Out of my way. If you must know, I was practicing in the yard when the guard I was sparring with fainted when I specifically told him to duck. My blade bit right into the stonework next to the keep and needed serious repairs. Thankfully, our smith Balamond works wonders. In fact, if you'd fetch my blade from him, I'd be most appreciative. Thank you. Do hurry, please. Every day, the threat of exile from Riften draws closer for myself and my family. Who knows how many spies the Empire has sent into our midst already? We're at war. This isn't the time for hospitality. Thank goodness Mother is keeping a level head about everything. If my brother Saerlund had his way, we'd be flying Imperial colors by now. Can you believe that fool had the audacity to speak of his love for the Empire in the plaza? He expects us to drop our defenses and greet them with open arms, to dialogue with them rather than defend our homeland by spilling their blood. He's a traitor, plain and simple. Had I been sitting on the throne, he'd be hanging from the gallows for his sympathies toward the Empire.
Heard about you and your honeyed words. As Jarl Leila's houseguard, I would ask that you maintain respect.
You've been come to see Balamond lazy good for nothing, isn't he? Sent you down here when I'm a stone's throw from the keep. Here's the sword. Tell Harald to stop slaying walls, and perhaps his blade will stay in better condition.
Make love like a saber cat, or crush your enemies to dust like
Remember,
a giant.
nothing but genuine fire salts will do. The Forge knows the difference.
Did you have some sort of official business here?
Out of my... Took your sweet time getting it to me. Here you go, for your trouble. Until next time.
I'd request that when speaking to Jarl Leila, you show the proper respect.
I know you. An investment. Very well, I don't see why not. Thank you. When I have the time, I'll try to think how best to use this. Huh. I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. Okay. Now where did I put those spiders?
staying safe? Hands to yourself, sneak thief.
Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here.
New in town, eh? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'd never sleep with anyone besides my good wife, Drifa. Look, it was one night, okay? I think she slipped something in my drink. I haven't even been back to the bunkhouse since. Just take this damn thing. I never want to see it again. Only the best in all of Riften. I own Riften Fishery. Started out with a single fishing pole, and now I have an entire building and 2 boats to my name. Not bad for a middle-aged Nord, eh? Too bad I haven't had the same success helping this city shed its poverty. And even Nord thinks I'm wasting my time trying. But I disagree. I sell my catch across a good portion of Skyrim. It's worth its weight in gold to me. The only untapped market left is Markarth. However, I just got word that Klepper at the Silver Blood Inn might be interested. If you're headed that way, I would appreciate you delivering a purchase agreement for me. You'd be paid, of course. Good. Klepper will pay you as soon as you arrive with the letter. Here you are. Yes, I suppose someone has to be around here. Have you seen the condition of this sorry excuse for a city? Beggars roam the streets, crime runs rampant, and the threat of war's driving away business. The paltry amount of coin that I place in the charity box at the temple is the least I can do to help. Nivenor is my wife. How I was ever able to meet such a gorgeous creature is one of life's mysteries. We're at odds about my charity. She thinks the people in this town have become lazy and expecting a handout. I tried to include her in my lessons for Maramal over at the Temple of Mara, but she prefers to shop instead. Different strokes, eh?
Remember to legendary Argonian craftsmanship.
If you're looking for a handout, you'll want to speak with my husband. If you're looking for company...
If it's a bed you need, talk to Kiraba in the Bee and Barb. She'll... That you right.
Genuine Falmer blood elixir.
Hey. I'm the brewmaster around here. What did you want? I'm quite busy. Maven Blackbriar wants me to keep the mead flowing, and that's what I aim to do, despite all these lazy good-for-nothings that work for us. Ever since I took over as a foreman, the production of our mead has never been more profitable. And if the meadery is profitable, I'll get rich. Get the picture? Lady Maven could buy or sell anyone in Skyrim. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one pulling the strings around this city. She's always welcome in Mistveil Keep, and between you and me, I'm pretty sure she even has some pretty influential friends within the Empire. I'd also warn you not to cross her. She employs quite a few troubleshooters to take care of messy problems. You're crazy. How dare you make such an accusation? If word gets around that I bedded her, they'll lose all respect for me at the meadery. Take the mark if you want it. It's not worth all this hassle anyway. Good. Now maybe I can get back to work.
Welcome. Allow me to recommend the Black. We serve only the best here. She's an absolute pleasure to work for. In fact, I almost feel guilty accepting pay from her. Why, just this last week, I was commenting to my fellow meadery workers just how lucky we are to be working for such a charitable family. Okay, look. If I'm caught saying anything bad about the meadery or the family, I'm a dead man. I'm the 4th person to work the tasting counter in the last year. The last 3 are at the bottom of Lake Honrick. Just take my advice, and just get out of Riften as soon as you can. Lady Maven's been developing the secret recipe for Blackbriar mead over the last several decades. She uses a very secret blend of spices, fresh honey from Golden Glow Estate, and specially constructed aging casks to ensure the best flavor. Even when you get to the last sip in your flagon, it'll taste just as good as the first. damn it. Sorry. I'm not very good at this. Look, just don't say anything to Maven, will you? I've spent weeks trying to get that right, and if she sees how stupid I am, she'll get rid of me. Yeah, fired. Sure, that's what I meant. Come back and see us again. Take a look. Come back and see us again.
Hey, don't look at me that way. Who are you to judge me?
You look like you could use it. Sure. How do you think I get my hands on the good stuff and offer it so cheap? You think old Maven is just giving it away to anyone? Good thing she makes so much money. Makes it easier for merchandise like this to fall through the cracks. Nothing but the best. Blackbriar mead, fresh from the vat. Best of all, you don't have to pay the ridiculous prices Maven charges. So what do you say to that? Here you go. Oh, and keep it quiet. This stuff isn't exactly easy to get a hold of at these prices, if you catch me drift.
Get it.
I'm selling the best mead in town for cheap. No, friend. You've got it all wrong. I'm not selling cheap mead. I'm selling good mead for cheap. Blackbriar mead. I'll sell cases of it for half of what the inns and taverns pay through the meadery. All I need is someone to deliver it for me. If anyone saw me leave Riften, they get suspicious. I need someone to take this small keg of Blackbriar mead to Wilhelm at the Vilmer Inn in Iverstead. Drop it off, and he'll trade you something for the delivery. Keep it as payment for the legwork. Oh, and if you bump into Indaren from the meadery, keep your mouth shut. He'd rat us out in a second. Good. Now get going. Remember, keep this to yourself.
You must take the lexicon. Free me of my burden. The memories, I cannot stand them. You must take them away, return them to Avunshenzell. You must take the lexicon from me. Please, take it now. You must bring it to Avunshenzell in the west. Return it to them. It must go back.
The waiting. The insufferable waiting. Here, I want you to have this. Don't ask, just take it. Need something? Thanks. Couldn't have done that without you. I'm grateful for your efforts. Here, take this. You know Belethor's shop in Whiterun? That'd be a good place to start. He carries all sorts of things like that.
I won't go back to Avunshenzell.
You're headed to Falkreath. It's all in this note. All right.
It is our most favorite. Look, I don't think I should say. I mean, they could kill me. I could have left it behind. Okay, I'll tell you. I get my skooma from Sarthas Idrin. He has some sort of a setup over the Riften warehouse. You can't get inside, though. They've kept that place locked up tight since the war began. I overheard Bolli say that only the Jarl carries the key to the warehouse. When I meet Sarthas there, he's usually waiting for me outside with his bodyguard. I'm not sure what it's made from, but I can tell you that once you've had a taste, you'll never crave anything else. The Dunmer came up with the stuff a long time ago. Very illegal and very hard to come by. I got mine off a merchant ship in Solitude. Worst mistake I ever made. I could have left it behind. I could have put it back. If it wasn't for skooma, I'd already be on my way out of this horrible city. All my gold. Completely gone. Now I have to start over. I'll never use skooma again. Although I suppose a little mead now and then would be harmless. You've been kind. I thank you. It is done. I won't go back to Avanshinfell. I won't.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drug.
Helgen. Destroyed by a dragon. Hard to believe, isn't it?
I'm kind of busy, but if you need any potions or ingredients, let me know.
My mind is... I'm aspiring to earn that title, yes. However, the road ahead is paved with loose cobbles and deadly pitfalls. Master Elgrim says I'm a natural, that I have a unique talent, but I fear his approval masks his intolerance for my mistakes. My errant formulas have cost Master Elgrim a fortune in ingredients, some of which are almost irreplaceable. To restore Master Elgrim's supply, I would need 20 Deathbell, 20 Nightshade, and 20 Nirnroot. Am I sensing that you may be interested in gathering these rare ingredients for me? That means more time for my experiments and less time in the field. Much appreciated. Good. My experiments are at a critical stage, and these are just what I need to finish. Here's some coin for all the trouble. It's exhilarating to observe the effects of my potions on the body. Watching the heart stop, the eyes go blind. We're made up of thousands of parts with thousands of different functions, all working in tandem to keep us alive. Yet if only a single part of our imperfect machine fails, life fails. It makes one realize how fragile, how flawed we are. You ask why I'm so fascinated? The irony that the same world that gave us life provides us the means to die. My family. All that wealth, and they squander it on foolish ventures and political schemes. I was meant for so much more than all of this. I wish to pledge my life and ply my talents in darker circles. If only my mother would let me, I would make her proud. My experiments can't be completed until you've brought me those ingredients. Do hurry.
Got horses that need shoeing. Huh? What are you talking about? I don't even know what that is. I don't want a bad reputation in Riften, but Helga's out of control. She wanted to try it in the stables, so I said yes. If you want the mark that badly, then go ahead and take it. Been stuck with the name for years. I've been riding horses since I was a lad. Nothing I like more. But as I got bigger, so did my mounts. And one day, I was drunker than I've ever been and mounted a poor colt. Broke his back in two. Haven't ridden since. All right then.
you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
Yeah? What's your problem? You looking for... What? How? Where did you get these? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Look, we need to keep this quiet, between you and me, okay? No one else needs to know about it. If word got out that I'm practicing my Debellan arts in Riften, they'll run me out of town. Here, take this and don't mention a word of this to anyone, especially Svanna. I don't know why I bother.
I presume you're bothering me for a good reason.
Jewelry with legendary
What in the name of... Don't tell me. Sibby and Louis Latruche? Well, Sibby is in jail, and Latruche is certainly welcome to try. My hired help is more than a match for him.
Gems, potions,
Really?
ingredients.
Now that is interesting. Then you should know that Louis and I have a certain history. Tell you what, go along with his plans for now. I'll keep an eye on you both, and when the time is right, I'll settle accounts with Louis.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
All meats guaranteed. Clean and free.
I don't have time. time for idle chit.